to it. This is the elimination match, by the way. So somebody here is about to die. And there's a little bit more at stake for Masa than anyone else. But let's get in the game. We'll talk about that after. All right, folks, we're back. It's game number 1 in a best of 3. This is the elimination match. Now, as we mentioned before, Masa was penalized for being late today, the equivalent cost of last place in this tournament. So everybody is guaranteed to walk away with prize money today, except Masa. If Masa loses this match, then he'll walk away today with nothing. However, if Masa wins, then he'll fight back in the group finals and be guaranteed prize money once again. So there's a little bit more on the line for Masa than there is for Vindicta, but spawning here on the top left side of the map, we have the blue Terran player, Masa. And as well at the bottom right, the red Terran player, Vindicta. I tuned in late. What do Rifkin say he suffers from? Being devilishly handsome? Oh, I'm about as handsome as you are clever, Couch. And the answer is very. Thank you for that compliment. But for the person who says, I don't post, who's this? Zai2 says, I don't post much, but that is not a PSA. If you suffer anxiety, smoking weed is not a long-term sustainable answer. And I wasn't trying to infer that it was. My apologies if that's how that came across. I'm not trying to double down here because you've called me out, but just to explain. I was explaining a situation of something I suffer from, how for the first time in my life, I don't seem to be suffering as much from it, and the only common denominator there is smoking a little bit of weed. I'm not an advocate for weed. I hate the way it smells. I really can't stand the way it tastes. I know some people grow to love it, but I'm just saying that as somebody who is 30 years old, had never really smoked weed aside from like one time at a party, this for me is something that is working. So it won't work for everybody, and I'm not saying go out there and try it. I'm just trying to be relatable because this is something that like just my whole life I've had to deal with, and I've never had a beard this full before, and it feels cool. Messy and needs to be trimmed, sure, but it's a first for me. Oh, wow, I'm learning with Dad. Oh, cool. Hey, Masa's walled off in a very interesting way. I've complimented Kelazur and a couple others who have been doing this more recently. But if you guys don't understand the perks to this, because it does look really weird at a glance, you're like, wait a minute, that's not how Terran plays. Depot, barracks, depot. There's not a lot of hop-up spots on this map for Reapers, and if you do depot, barracks, depot, then a Reaper can still hop up here and get around your base and be terribly annoying. But if you do this, the Reaper actually only has 2 options, here and here, instead of 3 options, here, here. So it's up the ramp or over to the side. So it's really cool. I've been seeing people do this more and more often, but I really like this, specifically not because of the Reaper, but because of the all-in that comes sometimes in these matchups, whether it's Terran, Protoss, Zerg. On this specific map, if you put your depots here, you're guaranteed to lose one, if not both of them, to, say, Ravagers or other type attacks, siege tanks, cyclones, you name it. So what's kind of cool here is you're not going to lose that supply. You're not going to get supply blocked as easily. However, all my hypotheticals aside, matters not for the time being. Masa's in some very, very bad trouble. And another Cyclone's about to pop, so I don't think he's going to lose the game from this. But this attack out of Vindicta blitzed him a little bit quicker than he expected. The Cyclone should have been able to kite away and never really die, but instead, Vindicta chased it down and killed that first Cyclone, which is a really nice move on his part. You don't even need 2 supply depots. Yeah, you can just do it with a reactor. Still works. But look, guys, the nuance of this aside, the element that here we are, this is, what, 10 years of StarCraft? Or how, 20 years, whatever the celebration was. But the point is, like, for Legacy of the Void, it's like, what, 3 years old, 4 years old now? Combine that hardest form of Legacy Liberty. Nobody has innovated the way Terran does a wall-off in years. We've seen Protoss change this a lot. Forge Fast Expand, gateways, Sim Cities. For Protoss, that's changed a lot. So if a Protoss player did this, I wouldn't be that surprised. But this is a new thing for Terran. Kellizer was the first person I saw do this. Masa might be the second. And I hope trends like this catch on, because it blows me out. This has been no buffs, no nerfs. This is just something people figured out to play on the maps better. And I think that's really cool. That's a girl attending the war chest. Was she attending the stream too? No, that's a stock footage girl. I have no clue who that is. The war chest stuff, again, very disappointed hearing about it recently. I'm curious what happens with the other streamers too, if everyone ends up having not great value out of it, but we'll see. How's that wall better than the standard one? I believe I've just spent 5 minutes explaining that, but you know what? Forget it. You just keep walling off how you want to wall off, okay? Don't worry about it. Third CC's finished up for Masa. Vindicta is finishing up. He's not too far off. Actually, he's playing somewhat similar. Stim starts out for Masa, though. A little bit quicker than here for Vindicta, but he's going to swap that barracks over now. He's going to have that tech lab. Vindicta is a really good player. He's, to me, not as good as Masa, but he's an up-and-comer. He's shown a lot of cool things through WCS Winter. The couple of times now he's been on BaseTradeTV, I've been very impressed with him. But the thing that's hard to measure with a lot of these players is like, is their macro as good as so-and-so's? And what I gotta say is, here we are 6 minutes in the game. They're very close on build order timings. They're very close on tech timings. The units are very similar despite the small deviation in the opening. So it's one of those things for me that's cool to say that I think Masa is a good player, and Vindicta is playing on par with Masa. There's a build order, at least for the time being. Not missing really a mark, and keeping his supply pretty good. Minerals low. Both players expanding to their thirds. I mean, this, for me, I just, this is a small clap, a golf clap. Like, bravo, Vindicta. You've opened up quite well in this elimination match. Sorry, there's so much non-game related talk at the beginning that I tune in out. You know what? I would love to call you out on this, but you're right. Because to me, in all honesty, there are sometimes really cool nuances that happen in the early game, and we should talk about them. But that is like a 5% situation in my books. So I feel like if I'm going to do off-topic talks, if I'm going to do recaps, if I'm going to do sponsor shoutouts, I want to do it at a time in the game it's not going to disrupt things too much. And that's my thought on why I treat the early game a bit like shit, to be honest. This is going to be trouble. Vindicta, of course, scanned Masa's army. Masa, of course, has to guess where Vindicta is. He doesn't have any clue. That's right up this ramp. And if Masa has to turn around on this fight, he'll be coming up his own ramp. He'll be at his own low ground disadvantage. Not a spot you want to be. Air battle here is going to matter a lot. 2 Ravens for 2 Ravens, but a little bit more Viking action here for Masa. Defender's advantage will play a role in this too, but oh, he actually takes care of this. No problemo. Those interference matrices may have cost him both of his Ravens, but he broke the siege. And of course, he's going to pick off his... Oh, he doesn't get it! 14 shots, barely escapes. No Cyclone, you're supposed to chase the Raven, not the auto turret. If he finishes off the Raven, then this was an amazing trade for Masa. If he doesn't get the Raven, then it's not actually that bad for Vindicta, but he is going to get the Raven. Oh, that vision cock! Oh! All right. Forget everything I just said. Masa's coming with a full-on counterattack, and Vindicta... He's going to have an interference matrix or 2, possibly, but it's not enough to just straight up stop the attack. So I don't know if he's going to be able to break this the same way Masa could. The sensor tower sets up, he sees the blips, he now knows where his opponent's army is, and that Raven is 1 shot from death. Vikings landed on the ground because he's confident he doesn't need them in the sky. I don't know if I agree with that, but both players are landing their Vikings, so forget it. Doesn't even matter. Everyone on the ground. All right. Production looks good for Masa back on the other side of the field. Upgrades just finished. Okay, look how close these timings are for these guys. This is so sick to me. I know I'm nerding out about this more than I should, but that's because I'm looking at this, the young up-and-coming young buck versus this grizzled pro. And, yeah, just cool seeing Vindicta play toe-to-toe like this. Vikings do win out here for Vindicta. If he can get a Liberator in play, he might be able to turn the tides of battle around, but of course, this is easier said than done. He's going to pull the SCVs to hopefully soak some shots so his Marines don't die immediately. Viking is going to land too. He does set up his tank. He should break Masa's assault, but at great cost. This has lost 22 SCVs. Masa has a TY level of workers right now, sitting on 80 workers. He doesn't care about losing a few army units. He's going to replace all of those very soon. However, one thing he really needs to do is get a 4th base, because as impressive as this SCV count is, it is not optimal for mining. He is oversaturated 16 out of 8, 27 out of 16. Yikes. So this worker count looks a lot more impressive than it is, and the income is a lot less different than you guys might expect, despite seeing those numbers. But once Masa sets up a 4th base, that'll change. So yeah, with mules, it's actually evening out, funny enough. It's so weird to look at that disparity of workers and realize that it doesn't actually matter that much. Excuse me. 8 Marines heading up to the top side of the map. There's a sensor tower that should see this coming. Masa's got a few extra units to spare. 27 out of 16. That's not what Alpha Star taught us. God damn it, guys. Don't you dare bring your Alpha Star memes here. If I had to... Okay. If I was in a room with Hitler, Stalin, and Alpha Star, and I was given a gun with only 2 bullets, I'd shoot Alpha Star twice. Fuck, I love The Office. No Alpha Star memes, guys. Not cool. Shut it down. I refuse to empower the AI. Because AI sounds like I won't have any of that here either. Weebs, get out. I'm so sick of all you ruining my streams. This attack here, of course, scans ahead to see that it's safe, so Masa knows there's a sweet spot here to nestle up those tanks. Air control is very important in TBT. Cannot be stressed enough. But funny enough, we don't see it playing that big of a factor, either offensively or defensively. Defensively for Vindicta, this pokes away at things like medevacs from pushing forward and giving vision. But defensively, he should, with his air dominance, have a Liberator or two to combo with this and push off the tanks. But Vindicta's not getting a Liberator, and Masa's not going for Vikings. So it's kind of this weird... They've both agreed to say no to the Sky Battle. Either way, it's not going to matter. Masa outguns Vindicta 2-1. The upgrades are so similar. Masa's got a small lead in armor, but at the end of the day, no matter how this plays out, Masa has more money, thus more bodies to throw at his opponent. 4th base is set up, and we talked about that saturation being a joke earlier. Now it's almost doubling the income. Look down here in the bottom right. Vindicta cleans up the south, but loses the north. Tanks die. GG's. Masa holds on here with game number 1. Hey guys, as I said, we're doing a little bit of weird advertising tonight, because we're fighting against Europe. Wait, what's map 2? Cove, okay. While I host this lobby up, we're going to go to a quick screen capture because I want to try and get you guys involved with this as much as I possibly can. This is supposed to be beneficial for everybody, not just me here. Here. Okay. We have a Matcherino page set up. !_ Matcherino to get that link. Of course, display capture is broken again. One sec, guys. This is going to blip out. OBS sucks. Okay, we're back. Here's the Matcherino page. Now, here's the thing about it, right? We have a Matcherino page set up for this tonight and also for tomorrow in Europe. Both of these Matcherino pages have their own separate prize pools. They've already got the prize money covered for the night, $200 by BaseTradeTV. All players getting paid. That's not changing. Additional funding will go towards future Fight Night events. What we're doing this week is competing with Europe, and whichever Matcherino has more prize money in it at the end of tomorrow's broadcast will determine what Fight Night we do next week. Now, if you don't want to donate money, that's fine. I'm not asking you to do that. There are free ways to contribute to this. And I don't mean 3, I mean free. And you can follow BaseTradeTV on Twitter. If you already do, just click that link anyways. Same with the Discord link. If you're already a part of our Discord, just click the link. If you're not, join it. That way you get updates about the events we run. These each will add $1 to the prize pool, even if you don't actually have any money of your own to add. And again, whichever number is bigger tomorrow will determine next week's Fight Night. So if you want to guarantee we get more North American broadcasting, this is the best way to do it. And that being said, don't at all feel obligated to contribute. What you should feel obligated to do, though, is get ready to spam some emojis because we're getting into King's Cove. See you guys here for game number 2. Whoa, somebody call the mod spam police. Jesus. All right. Game number 2 in the elimination match. Spawning here to the upper left side, we got the blue Terran player Vindicta. His opponent to the bottom right, the red Terran player Masa. How'd you guys like that intro? I wish it was this easy to meme all the time. What's the Matcherino codes? Sadly, there are no codes for this Matcherino. This one is strictly driven through clicking links. So, unfortunately, the only ways to help secure what's going on is to either contribute your own dollary dues or to click those links as I suggested. The same rules and the same restrictions will apply to Europe. There's not going to be any magical codes created for them. And we'll see how that plays out tomorrow. Side note, if you guys do want to wake up bright and early tomorrow, 9 a.m. Pacific, I should note we have Hearthstone versus Denver and Euthermal versus Kelazur. Tomorrow's also got 4 pretty good pros. I'm very excited about that. I personally don't care who wins this battle, by the way, North America or Europe. I'm going to enjoy next week no matter what we do. The question is, what do we do? Also, I should note, when I say next week, I don't literally mean the next weekend. That'll be IEM. Most people will not be available to play. I'm talking like the 8th and 9th. Sorry, I should probably disclose that a little bit better. Because in my mind, when I say next week, I'm thinking about my next working week, not literally next week. Other than that, if there's one thing I could ask you guys to do while we watch this game develop, our YouTube situation, go subscribe to the new YouTube channel. It's our new backup in case ours gets deleted. I'll save the explanation for a little bit later. I don't want to go into that again right this second. Just if you could do me a favor, ! YouTube in the Twitch chat, and then go hit that subscribe button. It's free to do it on YouTube. Yay! At any rate, Masa put up a pretty good fight that last game. But again, so much kudos and credit goes to young Vindicta as he kept toe-to-toe with Masa. And I'm going to say this lightly because I know Vindicta has a history of things. That's not where I'm poking at with this. But the beauty of what we just saw out of Vindicta, in terms of like build order, not so much decision making or army fights, was like, even if this guy was doing something as heinous as like stream cheating or map hacking or anything like that, which he's not, I don't believe he is, but if he was, you still can't keep up with somebody like that, right? Like, just because you know what's going on doesn't mean your build order is going to be as crisp as your opponent's. It doesn't mean you're going to have the same timings as your opponent. Like, Vindicta, for me, looks well practiced, well played, and again, very, very much so going toe-to-toe with Masa, which I just absolutely loved. So, a lot of promise with this guy, win or lose the series. But of course, like I said, there's a little bit more on the line for Masa than there is for Vindicta. If Vindicta loses this best of 3, God forbid, but if he does, he still gets $25 today, no matter what. Now, of course, he's done a great job getting up here and killing 2 SCVs. He slowed down Masa's command center quite a bit. Of course, that's Masa's 3rd command center, Distress. But Vindicta also has his own command center, finish up here at the natural base. So he's still, in a weird way, behind in this regard. But because you don't go for the command center, because you don't spend 400 minerals on this, you're spending it on army units and tech advancement. And while Masa is only just now halfway finished with his starport, Vindicta is already building a Liberator. So my fear is there's going to be an attack that comes that might not be so well dealt with. And this 3rd CC is not canceled, but it is constantly being delayed. So for Masa, it's still not done. It's still not becoming an orbital. It's still so much wasted time. So many SCVs picked off. 4 in total. A lot of lost mining too running around. So much yikes. Semi! 431. Thank you very much for that Twitch Prime sub. A little bit of music to brighten my day. I'm so scared, guys. I don't know when it is. I believe it's sometime this week. We're going to have that sub drop off. Some of you were here for it. I think many of you weren't, but you probably still benefited from this. I was playing Sea of Thieves with some friends. We got 400 subs or something insane like that. I think that's sometime in the next week. You got to put me on Suicide Watch because that's dropping off and our number's going to fall. So all you guys are subbing, thank you. I really appreciate it. Now this Hellion attack was unprecedented and unseen, and for Vindicta, not well dealt with. He's going to lose a lot of SCVs, but they shouldn't be able to do much more than that. They're not going to kill Command Center. They're not going to push up that ramp. But the question is, on the other side of the map, is there enough to defend? That bunker is holding up against the Cyclones. Nicely done here so far out of Vindicta. Doesn't lose too much, but forces a lot of lost mining. But he doesn't break the bunker, and he's got to do more. He can't just simply trade this out. He lost 14 workers on the other side of the map. So he goes up to the top of this with a nice little elevator move. Masa's supply blocked at the moment, which is not helping things, but Vindicta is a good guy. He says, let me help you with that supply block. I'll kill several SCVs. But Marines are not going to hold up too well against these Hellions, and there's a lot of them. I do feel Vindicta is going to die here. Keep in mind, Masa has a third command center and more workers than Vindicta currently. So Vindicta really not in a good space this game. 10 workers behind. His third CC is about halfway done. So he's losing a mule cycle. Masa's producing still. He's not killed enough workers to really even up the count of things. Masa still has like an 8-something worker lead. So I got to give kudos to Masa on the attack, but also getting back at home in time to defend. This could have been so much worse. It could have been so much worse. But a Prox Identity, thank you for a 2-month sub. Alpha Star is coming for you. No, it's not. Crypto Compare, thank you for the 21 months. Look, here's the thing. Alpha Star could probably kick my ass on the ladder, right? Alpha Star ain't never going to touch me casting. Because you know what Alpha Star is going to do? If Alpha Star was programmed to be a caster, and let's assume for a second it could be fluid with its speech patterns, it would try and be professional. It would try and probably talk about the game, right? Probably have more of that boring WCS stuff. We all know you guys don't care about StarCraft. You just want to watch me talk about how some maps look like they have dicks drawn on them. I know that's why you really sub to this channel. People like Africanus. Thank you for the Twitch Prime sub. Dicks? What? Oh. The Dawnbreaker 89. Let me tell you a little story about a map called Stasis. No, I won't. I really wanted to, but we're in a good game, so I can't meme that up that too hard. But another story for another time. And future maps to come, perhaps. Raven auto-turret harass out of both players continues to be a nuisance. It's not destroying either player's worker count, but it is certainly being a problem. Interesting scout on that 4th CC, by the way. Vindicta is still a command center behind his opponent, but for Masa, I'm not sure that speeding out a 4th CC is that big of a deal. I guess he is playing mech, so there's something to talk about the way he's spending his money, but I don't know. 4th CC this early still feels a little bit risky. You tease. Sorry, guys. Is casting replays? No, sees a pat. These are live games. We almost had to cancel this one because Masa didn't show today, but nope, no replay arenas here. And in fact, guys, if you're ever worried about your favorite streamer scamming you, you're like, Wardy, you said this is live, but you're literally casting a replay. And he's like, mate, I'm casting a replay, sure, but it's the first time anyone's seen it, so it's live. And you're like, I don't believe your logic here. You're casting a replay. Show me that it's live. You just get them to show you the top bar. Because if it's a replay, there'll be a timer here with a fast forward button and a game time stamp on it. But there's not. So that's how you know it's live. And also, don't trust Wardy. Nice Hellion run by. 15 SCVs go down to this, by the way. However, there's a small counterattack of Vikings, funny enough, on the other side of the field. Dodging each other out by landing and dropping, but they kill about 5 SCVs. And to a guy who has 4 orbital command centers, he doesn't give a flying gosh darn about 5 SCVs. Masa is very much in control of this game. As he goes out for this push out, I don't know if this will be enough to end it, but I'll tell you, even if Masa doesn't end the game with this push, he is already so far ahead. Any damage he does is still going to be somewhat unrecoverable. How did you Photoshop it to hide the fact that it's a replay? These Vikings have been really annoying, but they've been a distraction. Vindicta comes in here with what is his real attack. However, tanks are not covered from Masa. That's a big problem. 2 of those tanks go down immediately. Marauders have some good damage with this too. Hellbats coming out now. A couple auto turrets. Masa's losing control, guys. 3 Vikings land in the main, picking off a lot of SCVs. A lot more workers die too once transferring away from the 3rd base. Now, of course, through 30 SCVs dying, this evens up the worker count. I want you to think about that for a moment. And it's cool because Vindicta still has an army supply lead. But I feel like as long as Masa doesn't die to this push, like it doesn't matter how he recovers, as long as he recovers, that 4th CC is enough to get him back in this game in a big way. However, mech units are not so great here. He doesn't have the proper support for them. A couple of medevacs dropping Hellbats on top of the army. That could change things up quite a bit, but he doesn't have that available to him. So he's waiting for his own tanks to try and leapfrog up here at the front lines. The beauty with these Vikings is to keep medevacs from dropping. Oh! Vindicta got a little bit scared there, but I think he was going to get around Masa. Either way, he pulls back. Masa, okay, for the first time in several minutes, takes a big hit. But with his extra mule and his extra command center, I do feel like recovering from this should not be too much of a problem. I'm Alpha Star. I've hacked every account on Twitch. To prove it, I post this message from other accounts. God damn it. You know the worst part is, it wouldn't even be Alpha Star. It would be Deep Mind, right? Alpha Star is just like the StarCraft 2, like, nickname or whatever. Wouldn't it be Deep Mind who's actually hacking everything? Like the actual AI program behind it or whatever? Unless I totally misunderstand how this works. Okay. Which case is probable, let's be honest, guys. That bunker just got deleted. Medevac's boosting the main. Masa's got an army supply back up, but it's slow and it's not responding well to this. Blue Flame's still not done. Vikings take care of the Medevacs. Raven's got no energy for auto turrets. He can't really land these Vikings against Marauders, but it will keep them off of the tank, and the tank will hold on. Masa now losing 25 workers. Hold the phone, guys. Masa is super far behind now, even with that 4th CC. And what's worse is he's got no counterattack potential. Everything he's been doing has just been trying to build supply to defend. He doesn't really have anything to push out with. So there's no immediate danger of a counterattack. Vindicta scans to confirm this, and he continues to maneuver around the map with this drop. Masa fighting back in a big way. Inch to Maniac says, wow, Vikings are rubbish against Marauders. Inch to Maniac, are you British? Who says rubbish? My grandma says rubbish. Anyways, it's true though. A lot of people constantly misunderstand Viking damage. It looks good because Vikings deal a lot of bonus damage to things like tanks. So people misunderstand that as bonus damage versus armor. However, Vikings specifically deal their bonus damage versus mechanical. So they will melt a tank, they'll destroy SCVs. They won't do so hot against things like Marauders, as it's not bonus versus armor. Neither is Blue Flame, but you know what? It's good against Marines. He washes out the Marine force. And only a couple Marauders left over. We're not winning at this fight. So picking up and backing away is the right move for sure. Down here to the bottom side, another attack is looming. That's quite a few Marines. But they'll be melted by these Blue Flame Hellions. Or, well, Hellbats if he wants to make them. We got Fusion Core coming up for Vindicta. I want to get hype and say a battlecruiser, because honestly, without any anti-air, a battlecruiser sounds viable, but he doesn't have air control, so it's probably going to be a Liberator. But Liberator range or not, air units are certainly a good way to get around the tanks and the Hellions. As you can see here, he just picks up on the medevac and unloads directly on top of the siege tank. Now, Marauders get the good damage, so they melt that thing off the face of the earth. More Vikings coming out too out of Vindicta, so he's definitely looking to get air control back in this game, and he's hiding them too, which is really important. Is there a few people playing Latex Pigeons tomorrow? Yeah, I've got a Twitch bounty to play Apex Legends, and I already love Apex Legends. If you guys have been following me on Twitter, I've been pounding out those wins, those W's, and I just really enjoy the game. So I'll be playing that on stream tomorrow for an hour after the broadcast is done. Thanks. Got a good shot there. Aprox Identity, here's where I'm going to contest you, right? Sorry to be serious for a moment, but after DeepMind beat one top pro at Go, it made a better version and destroyed the Go ladder equivalent. So keep your eye out for an invincible barcode in a few months. I don't think it will work, though. And here's my gimmicky problem with this, right? Same concept here in StarCraft. Alpha Star beats TLO. Alpha Star beats Mana. But then they play live and Mana wins pretty decisively, I'd say. I feel like the current version of Alpha Star is a gimmick made to look good to investors. I'm not saying players through or anything like that, but it was not a good showing, in my opinion. So, maybe at some point, but definitely not right now, and I really don't think the near future. But if I'm wrong, then that's cool. And I don't mind being wrong, because it would be awesome to see AI develop like that. But I was super not impressed by the Alpha Star show matches. I don't understand the hype around it. Look at the videos. Everyone who made a YouTube video on it had like 100,000 views minimum. Like, I just don't get it. I didn't think it was that impressive. I didn't think it had that much to show. The gimmicks of it, winning through like doing impossible to pull off blink micro. Sorry. Not with it, boys. Now, there's a big surround looming out of Vindicta. And as I talked about earlier, he had got the Viking upper hand. 13 Vikings to 10. That being said, this collapse aside, all those Vikings have to shoot that Liberator down, take away a lot of damage, and Masa's actually just going to tap out. I can't believe Vindicta had such a sick surround, but that was such a one-sided battle. GG. This ties up the series 1-1. Now we got a real series. Because remember, guys, again, it's the elimination match. Somebody's out of the tournament, but the difference in prize money is kind of big when one player possibly gets nothing, where the other's guaranteed $25 no matter what. I got some bits cheered there in chat by Sean DeWolf. Thank you very much. No jokes. Seeing WCS broadcast give TLO's win percentage versus Terran, Protoss, Zerg, and Alpha Star was amazing. Yeah, I think they did that with Mana too, right? I thought that was pretty funny. Like, you got the stats scrolling at the bottom, kind of like an Easter egg. But yeah, we're going to find out the final map. I'm going to play a proper commercial break, though. I'll see you guys here in just a moment. the slump cast. I have fallen down on my chair and the lights have dimmed. Can't win with my camera tonight. We got Port Alexander coming up. Let's just hop into it. Lord Zesty, thank you for the Twitch Prime sub. Welcome back to this final game, map 3 in a best of 3 losers match. In the bottom right, we have the blue Terran player fighting from behind, and he came back. It's Vindicta. Spawning to the top left, we got the red Terran player. It's Masa. The Juice says, thanks for the great casting. You're already lying. I was hoping to see game time. Hope he's feeling better soon. I gotta go, but I'll be back. The support is real. Yeah, if you guys don't know the story, game time is feeling a little bit sick today, so I couldn't play. My best suggestion would be, if you're a game time fan, just send him a tweet saying hope you feel better soon. And we'll see him for future things, I'm certain. But yep, tonight, unfortunately, he was replaced. Good guy Puck came in to replace him. And Puck stands there in the winners match, where he'll be facing off against Cham in the next best of 3 here on stream. But if I could reiterate once again, if you're here with us on Twitch, I don't care if you never ever plan to watch a YouTube video in your life. If you couldn't care less and you're like, I actually hate YouTube, I still gotta ask you, kindly please type !YouTube in the chat and go subscribe to our new backup YouTube channel. Because YouTube, unfortunately, requires you to have a certain amount of subscribers before you're able to do things like even unlock custom URLs. So right now, the URL is like some big gobbledygook of like random letters. I want to make it say youtube.com/BaseTradeTV2. So please, would you kindly help us out? If you don't know the story behind this, TLDR, our current YouTube channel is in danger of possibly being deleted. I hope we never need to use this second channel, but I'm trying to get the word out there so that we can set it up in the event that we do need it. The copyright abuse system on YouTube is ridiculous, and bigger creators than I can't seem to win. I don't plan to win this battle versus these copyright strikes. That, as wrong as they are, people probably should hire a lawyer. I just don't care about it. I'd rather just fucking start over and not deal with this bullshit, because this other channel, to be clear, this backup channel, is being done in such a legal way. I have no access to it, which sounds weird to say. I know. I don't own it. My name's not on it. So if I do get free copyright strikes and banned from YouTube, this way BaseTradeTV can still carry on without me. But that's a grim story, and let's hope we don't cross that bridge. I am a man who likes to have backup plans, and that's why we're doing it. So again, guys, it really is emphasis driving home. !YouTube. Go subscribe to it, please and thank you. Am I dying? No, our channel might be, though. Did you contest the copyright claim with YouTube? Yes, and that's what resulted in the copyright strike. And then I've contested the copyright strike, and then it's up to them to basically take me to court, which they will likely not do. But the problem is I still have a strike on the channel. There's 4 more pending with 12 unresolved cases. So, guys, it's not looking good. What the fuck was that face? Wait, what just happened? Oh, what am I? Good shot here out of Masa. He's got that bunker to hold too. Vindicta will not push into this. But that big badass music sounded off, so I'm going to assume that weird face had something to do with the donation. Lord Zesty, thank you for the $50 deuce. He says, been meaning to donate for a while, making up for putting it off for so long. Lord Zesty, that is a big baller of a donation. Thank you so much for that. Really appreciate it, man. If you guys don't know, though, and Lord Zesty, I don't want you to feel bad about this at all. Love you so much for what you've just done. But if you guys don't know, like I said, we're collecting donations and bits. Primarily, I'm trying to funnel it through Matcherino tonight, only because we're doing a contest where we think North America is better than Europe, and we're going to be measuring the sizes of the Matcherino prize pots tomorrow morning. If there's more money through the North American prize pot, then we will make a North American fight night for the next weekend we're able to broadcast. Same to be said about Europe. If there ends up being more money in the European pot, then we'll do a European show. Realistically, it comes down to what you guys want more. So again, thank you for the $50. I really appreciate that, Lord Zesty. But for anyone else who's thinking about donating or anything tonight, I encourage you to do it through Matcherino if you want to see another North American show in the near future. Well, I'm from NA, so wait, what did he say? Sorry. So the Eurotrash can suck it. Yeah, brother. Hell yeah. King Coda's in the chat. Eurotrash out. It hurts my head to even just do that. Yikes. As a matter of factor. Hi, first time here. Welcome to the channel. Hope you're having a good night. We're about, I'd say, halfway through the show this evening. I mean, we knew it was going to be a slow one, but... or a short one. Excuse me, not a slow one. A short one. I'm just hoping it's not going to be too fast, which so far we've been okay. Quick little note here, as they are both going bio, we should acknowledge that there's a trade-off, though. Third CC is built for both. Woo! But one player with a kind of air advantage over the other. It's 2 Ravens to 1. This is kind of a big deal in the TVT, and not something to be overlooked. One of the big aspects of this is not auto turrets necessarily, and we did see a lot of auto turret harass in game number 2. There is a situation, though, where it comes down to those interference matrices. And in some cases, if you can get your one Raven to cast interference matrix on both of your opponents, and you can negate them both, that's going to be amazing. But the reality... Oh, hiccup. Oh, that hurt. I'm dying. This is not how I go. That hurts so much. Sorry. What I was saying, though, is the 2 Ravens having twice the abilities to cast additional auto turrets, anti-armor missile. Like, this is just, there's so much power in these 2 units from Masa. It really cannot be undervalued. And because, more specifically, they're both playing bio, anti-armor missile is so incredibly dangerous. So having the extra energy to not just cast the interference matrix on all the tanks as you need to, but additionally paint the army orange, I really like these 2 Ravens from Masa. It's not going to single-handedly win him the game. I don't want to get too far ahead of myself here, but I do like 2 Ravens over 1, and I think there's a lot of power in that too. Yeah, you guys ever just, like, you have one of those hiccups, and it just feels like someone just drove a spike through your chest? That's what I just had there. It feels bad, man. What is this? My goodness, this is bad timing. I'm sorry, I have to mute my microphone 1 second. This is an important call. Okay, guys, awkward timer. I have 5 minutes. Not before I have to go or anything, but I have to go answer the door no later than 5 minutes. I had a power cord break on me recently, and the one that's currently being used has exposed, like, wires. It's not good. I ordered a new one, and Amazon is refusing to leave it at the door. I need this power cord quite badly for my routers, so, he said he's leaving in 5 minutes. So, if this game isn't over in 5 minutes, I'm going to have to put the camera on somebody and bolt downstairs. I'm sorry. This is bad timing because it was supposed to come way earlier today. Hand in hand with everything else. It's just been a mess. So, there's a big fight looming. If this fight doesn't end the game, I'm going to have to BRB. Go get it now. Yeah, guys, don't worry about it. Hang on. This could end here. There's a big drop here going off too. Marines hit that main base of Vindicta. Masa's got a great siege up too. Here comes those Ravens I talked about. Vikings trying to push them off, but the siege up here on Masa's looking pretty good to start with. The interference matrix denies one of the tanks, but there's already a lot of energy used up by the Raven. One less cast he's going to have going forward. Of course, for Masa, all he has to do is... Stop telling me to... You guys want to get rid of me that badly? It feels bad, man. All he's got to do is interference matrix those tanks, and he can push it. He's got a big army to work with too. Thank you for the bits. But tanks go get pushed off, and with this attack deflected, Vindicta's going to push into chase. That might be a little bit greedy, though. Now scanning the high ground to realize that would be a mistake. Care about your safety. Guys, this isn't like a live wire that's exposed. It's just like the wire's not like fully, like it's stripped out a bit because it was ripped out when we moved. Because this is like my backup cable, and that's why I needed a new one. So I'm going to put the camera on, we're going to say Masa. I feel like Masa's going to be jarring around the map a little bit. This is a true base trade cast. I'll bring it back. Alive.
Upgrade complete.
Gangway coming through. Want a piece of me, boy? We could use some help here. Armed and ready.
Ready for dust-off.
Base is under attack. Our SCVs are under attack. Our SCVs are under attack. Upgrade complete. Base is under attack. Our SCVs are under attack. Base is under attack. Our SCVs are under attack.
Taking some fire here.
Our SCVs are under attack. Base is under attack. Base is under attack.
Make it back! I'm back in time! Fuck yeah! Oh! I sprinted! I see Masa is losing quite badly. And we're in a base trade. So much has happened in like 3-4 minutes. What the fuck, guys? This is crazy. Oh, I missed the base trade. Yeah, I did. So I'm actually, I just sprinted up 5 flights of stairs, team. Because it was faster than the elevator. But okay, sorry, deep breath. To collect myself. What an excellent way for this to go down, but Vindicta, at a glance, looks a little bit better off than Masa. Just because of these extra bases. I love that this is actually like a full-on base trade too. I can't believe I was so it feels like I blinked. Because I was gone and came back and I'm like, okay, they're disengaging. This won't be much. He's got a citizen's arrest! Which guy killed him? You are the champion. Now the thing is, well, I don't know how this base trade came to be. One thing's very important with base trades. And it comes down to this like delicate balance of information and army you have available to you. And right now, well, this is a problem for Vindicta. I still like his position quite a bit. He's got that air control. This is something Masa has to work at so hard I think he'll almost never get it back this game. So as long as at some point Vindicta pumps out a single Liberator, Vindicta will win this game. But of course, that's easier said than done. There's a lot going on the map that Masa doesn't know about. The Vikings do provide some vision, but of course scans can counter the vision. So that's not the problem right now. There's that starport though. Marines chasing forward's really dangerous with that anti-armor painted on them. Masa's got a 2-2 upgrade lead, but that +2 armor goes right out the window when they're painted orange like this. -3. Feels bad, man. Oh, I've been trying to breathe off mic. So you don't hear me panting like the fat cow I am, but geez, do not sprint up 5 flights of stairs. I did that thing too where you do like 2 steps at a time. You know, I don't do 1 step like some kind of bitch. Okay, thank you guys, and I'm sorry. I think I'm fully recovered. Oof! Almost losing both the medevacs. He loses 1 so far. Second one's got cargo in it. Third one's so dangerous. This is so much of Masa's army supply right now. Oh my god. Should have worn a GoPro. Because it's not gonna be that interesting watching run up a fucking flight of stairs from a first-person point of view. Why was he running? Because I irresponsibly left the cast in the middle of it. I want to get back as quick as I could. As I said, literally everything's gone wrong today. From start to finish. All of my deliveries were scheduled for this morning. None of them came through. Players, all this stuff. Look, guys, it doesn't matter. We are where we are. And I gotta be honest, I got more of a smile than a frown on my face. Because we've had some pretty fun StarCraft 2 matches tonight. And this one is, it's a bit of a doozy. Now, I think one of the problems I'm looking at for Masa is like he doesn't need gas right now because he has so much of it banked up. But at some point, he's going to have to take a geyser. And I'm afraid complacency might get the best of him. Anybody in a calm, rational situation doesn't forget to take a gas geyser. They don't forget to build supply depots. But when you're in this really dire situation, it's the elimination match of the tournament, and you've got horse blinders on, you're not thinking about doing things like building missile turrets to stop Banshees. Oh my god, +2 armor is so sick. Saving a lot of these STVs just barely, but these Banshees skirt on by. I never realized that dynamic before, by the way. Today I learned just how incredibly valuable that is for Banshees. Bottom right base denied and pushed off now. Vindicta, of course, had taken quite a bit of mining from it before he lost control of it. So while it does suck, it's not the end of his game. It's effectively 2 bases to 1. I feel like, again, army supplies look a lot closer than they are. The Vikings and the Raven are so much more valuable for Vindicta. Marine count's so close, but again, Masa's upgrades are a pretty big deal in these small-scale fights. If Vindicta could just wait, he wants to push in now, but if Vindicta just waits like a couple of seconds, he'd have +2, but instead his Vikings get caught on the ground. Why are they in the ground? They're your biggest advantage in this game. This is how you throw one of these matches in these desperate late-game scenarios. His army was split, not much, but just barely, and barely was enough in this case. Couple SCVs die over here, but that's fine for the trade out. Masa still has about 10 more than Vindicta, and of course an extra command center to boot. To me, sitting back down, I thought this was a done deal. Vindicta's won this game. You're so far ahead in the base trade, but he's slipping. He's slipping, boys. Those Vikings are still on the ground. Stop it. Big fight with the Marines comes into play. Those tanks are sieged up real good, though. Vindicta's coming a bit late. Both players just shrapnel on the body field. Corpses and arms everywhere. But he picks up the drop on top of the tank. Cyclone's going to cover his ass, though. Pulling back from this. Did Masa just wrestle control of this game? There's no way to push back those tanks. Even sieged versus pre-siege, they still just blow them out of the water. A little bit of friendly fire kills 2 tanks, though. Hey, 3 tanks. That's not too bad, Vindicta. But still, high stakes and low supply are the tale of this game. More Vikings now coming out of Masa. He knows how important air control is. He saw Vindicta just throw his away. Now he's going to take the command of it. 42 workers to 22. The resources lost is so bloody close, but I don't feel like that's accurate at all. In fact, look at this army graph. Like, the trade outs have been so close to this game. The GGs ultimately get called. And ladies and gentlemen, Masa will win the series, eliminating Vindicta to last place. But this is good because if Masa lost, he would receive no prize money today due to his penalty. Now Masa is guaranteed at least $25. But, yeah, sorry. Bing. New power cable, which I'm super excited for. I'll be right back, guys.